lost my dad, I buried my dad, and I get the best beating of my life when I return back to school. It got so good. In the morning, my mom and my uncle, they already went there. So my uncle came back. Then he carried us to canteen to go and eat. We were unable to eat that food. Jollof rice for that matter, we were unable to eat that food. So me and my siblings, we force ourselves to eat. We eat, but we are unable to eat that meat. I remember this vividly. I remember very well. We were unable to eat that meat. All of us, the meat was the meat was inside our plates like this. So my uncle came back, and this is what exactly he said. He said that kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́ fi jẹ ẹran yìí? And then the woman that is selling the food there, she said, you know the situation that is on ground. Maybe we are unable to eat the meat because of what is going on. So my uncle, he picked all of us, and then we went to where my dad is. So a lot of bad goes. That's also another story for another day. So after a lot of bad goes, they picked us the kids. They take us to inside the room where my dad was lying lifeless. They carry our hands and place it on my dad's chest. My aunt, she was actually praying. Then they take another person out. Then they bring another kid, my other siblings. I mean, they also take us one after the other, place our hands on my lifeless daddy body just to pray, something like that. I don't know, maybe it is their ritual in their family or whatever it is. So after that, they find the boss, they wrap my dad. I mean, it was a crazy incident. Anytime I remember that story like this, I feel like crying, man. It's actually crazy. They found the boss. They cover I don't know. They shall beat my dad lifeless body. They beat him. They put on one of his clothes, shoe, and they put on I think they shall put carton on the inside the bus. Then they carry him inside the bus. Then we start the journey to our village. Getting to our village like this, I haven't been in school. It was the time that everybody was going to school. It was the time that every student was going to school as at this moment. So we carried my dad's body inside the car. Then we drove to the village. Before we even get to the village, it's another story. Before we get to the village, it's another story. The car will stop. The car is overheating. The car is this. The car is bringing out smoke. The car does not have water again. The car petrol has finished. A lot of things. The car is not moving. We wait in the middle of the road. That there is no house. There is no village. There is nothing. It's just bushes. It's just forest. The car will stop at that point, and the car will stop at that point, and we will find a way to look for a mechanic. The mechanic will fix that car. Before we get to the village, that car break down like 2 to 3 times before we get to the village. Finally, we get to the village. They've already called those people in the village, like his brothers, his sister that is in the village. They've already called them, and they've already dig where they are going to bury him. That place that they bury him is where they bury his dad and his mom. That is my own grandma and my grandma was still alive then. So that is where they bury his dad. That is my own grandpa. I don't even know him. That's where they bury him. That's a burial ground. I mean, I don't know how they do that thing. They bury like some of his family that they are late. That is where they bury them.